Grand Rising, family of the Most High, of Yahuwah and Yeshua HaMashiach, our Messiah, otherwise known as Jesus Christ. Guys, I'm sitting out here. It's the beginning of Sukkot. We had a meeting a couple nights ago, and we decided on track speech this year. We've done this, I think this will be the third or fourth year. Sukkot at the beach for 7 days camping. This year, every family that comes on a regular basis is supplying the meal, which is really lovely. So every night, 7 nights that we're out at the beach, there'll be different meals brought by different families. But if we do have any guests that would like to attend, if you're on Oahu, Hawaii, especially if you're on the west side and would like to come one evening for the dinner and the celebration and just to learn more about feast days. There's so much that we've been deceived about on this planet, mostly about God, his real name being Yahweh or Yahuwah or Yah, about his son being Yeshua or Yeshua. Actually, there was no J back in the time of Christ. J's didn't come into existence until the 1500s, so there's a lot of arguments today about his name, whether it's Jesus or if that's, I've literally heard it that people are now saying that Jesus is Baal or, it's the devil name or the evil one. But, just understand that the Roman Catholic entity, the cult that morphed pagan into Christ, or into the way that Yeshua walked. He said, follow me. He didn't say, come join my religion. He didn't say, I'm God. He said, God and I are one, meaning that we're all part of God, every single one of us. If you think of how the devil used this world to break up everything into denominations, and then, of course, you add in men's ego. Ego just to me means edging God out. So true. Whether you're Catholic, Mormon, Jehovah's Witness, or one of the 48,000 Christian branches, supposedly, of Christianity, guys, they can't all possibly be the one. They're all have their idea of what the one is, but the reality is we all came from an umbilical cord to an umbilical cord. Word of God says he knew us before we were formed in the womb, which means we were ethereal. We were just a thought of God before we came into the womb, and he created us and knitted us in our mom's womb. But we all have that same creator. And the one thing that I can tell you after 20 years of studying the Word of God and then studying law, common law versus the legal system, which is just like the apostate. It's the apostate church is the Roman Catholic head of all of it, the head serpent church. Go see Jonathan Kleck. Jonathan, I've been tracking with Jonathan for 10, 15 years. He's an artist from Texas. And he got totally radically born again. His eyes were open. You know what it's like? It's like you question everything your whole life, wondering, trying to conform to the world. And even when you do it all right, you're miserable and you're wondering why. And it's because it's a dystopia down here. Because we're running around trying to fulfill what, we see on TV, which is tell, lie, vision, broadcasting. They're casting broad what? They spell out what the words are out there and tell us what we want to eat, drink, buy. It's all consumerism. If you guys ever go see the movie They Live, and like you have these sunglasses on, it's like you have a filter over your eyes, right? And you're just sold all this BS in the world from corporations. Notice that word, corporations, corpses. They're all dead entities with fictional dead ideas that sound good. And we're such sheeple. We're so easily deceived that we go out and do everything they tell us to do on TV. Well, we're starting to wise up. Thank goodness that there's YouTube, because YouTube has changed the world. GodTube, YouTube, any Rumble, all these platforms that you get to share your own experience without being filtered Not real happy that YouTube filters us so much, but at the same time, it is a platform to just share your ideas with people. And then from there, if they keep wanting to shut out free thinking, because, perhaps maybe they're on the side of what set this all up in the first place, just use your noggins, start thinking things through. You'll start putting all the pieces together. I just found this guy, Jack Krause, or Kruse, Dr. Jack. He's on Huberman. He's on all kinds of platforms now talking about, he's my age. He's in his early 60s. This is a neurosurgeon doctor who has been around since, he knows everything from back in the JFK times to all these times. And it's just absolutely amazing how we all knew that there was these conspiracy theories, but when you're the first-hand witnesses to stuff, it's a totally different scenario because they can't spin it. Fake stream news spins everything. So anyway, let's just get into the word a little bit this morning because I wanted to talk about Sukkot, but my family thought, you're such a radical mom, you're such a conspiracy theorist. No, I've just been when I was a young person, my grandmother was labeled psychic, very super intuitive, just knew stuff. I did too. I was like the other one, like her in the family. Then they became born again. They said, oh, you're not psychic, you're prophetic. Well, honestly, you guys, it's the same gift. The only difference is now, back then I didn't know the Word of God, so I have a filter of running it through the Word, right? So I wanted to share number one out of this whole scriptures. I have two favorites that just always resonated with me for some reason. When I started studying the Word, these two things became very important in my ministry about who I am, what I am, and why I teach the way I teach and from my own perspective. Because we all have to share our own perspective because every pastor up there that ever speaks this word is sharing it through his own filter. But there's one thing in common that I think is really cool, and I found this lady on YouTube the other day. I'm going to give you guys names of people that I just find particularly interesting that are out there sharing the gospel. They study. Oh, that's the other thing. All the people I really like dissect, break up, look up in Strong's Concordance, dissect the words, look them up in different languages. And that's what we do at TKC.network. For the last few years, we've been building you guys this network. A bunch of people have volunteered that are super knowledgeable and study. They should study all the time, so they're really smart. And they love you guys still. They haven't given up on you, so they're trying to share knowledge with you so you can wake up and get set free too. So this is my very first one. It's Matthew 6:33. And Matthew 6:33 reads this. But seek ye first the reign of Elohim and its righteousness, and all these shall be added to you. Do not then worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow shall have its own worries. Each day has enough evil of itself. Okay, so let's just dissect that. This is from the scriptures that we use at the True Vine. And we meet, you're going to have to get in the network and call me. I'm building out a part of our website so you'll have our weekly schedule because the band is now going on tour a little bit. But for the next week, for Sukkot, Friday the 18th, Friday evening through next Sunday, I think we're breaking down camp. It's a family camping trip. Anybody who really is serious about studying the Word and really trying to understand and follow God, Yahuwah, His ways. We don't do it perfectly because we've all been programmed in the world. Most of our ministry people have come out of either Mormon, Jehovah's Witness,